Okay, guys, I think for the first time in maybe a very long time, I am a little bit speechless. Um, it seems like things are escalating really quickly. And now, greedy, just, billionaires, multi millionaires, the powers that be, have now switched the approach from pretending it's all good to they're saying the quiet part out loud. The narrative is very quickly shifting from these tools are not a tool to replace you to we are just going to replace everybody to increase the bottom line for shareholders and very wealthy studio heads or business heads or commercial entity heads. Now, we haven't really been talking a lot about the writer's strike or the SAG after strike, which unanimously was voted by their full board yesterday. And it's something that's actually very important. Whatever your feelings about Hollywood, or you think that the writing is woke or whatever nonsense, that has nothing to do with anything. This is about greed, pure and simple, and marginalizing people. So I was in bed. It's like 10 o'clock or something at night here. I'm getting ready to go to sleep and I'm just looking through what's going on out there. And I see something that I almost couldn't believe that it was true. I had to look up for multiple sources just to see if this was even remotely reality. Because what I read here is just straight out of Black Mirror. So apparently, one of the reasons that the the SAG-AFTRA, the actors and the film workers unions have decided to strike is that they went into you know some negotiations trying to avoid a strike, and one of the proposals that was put before them, it, if you can actually believe this, was that they said they had an innovative new approach. And what they were going to do is get people in who were background actors. Now, keep in mind, starts with background actors and then it becomes everybody. They want to scan actors' likenesses, own the rights to their likeness in perpetuity, pay them a single day's rate of work. The number being thrown around is $180. And then they can do whatever they want with that person's likeness in perpetuity using AI technology. Now, I couldn't imagine that this was even real. Why would anyone cast themselves as such a mustachioed, twirling villain? And the answer is greed, pure and simple. These type of approaches are going to be in more and more industries. And really briefly, you can just Google. There's multiple articles about this, and I am hoping that this is not true. Given the recent news also that we've heard, where one of the main strategies of the studios in the SAG after writer strike was they were simply just going to keep stalling and refuse to negotiate until around Christmas, when they believed that everybody would run out of money, start losing their homes, and have their livelihoods completely upended and completely undone. This is who we're dealing with here. So none of this, unfortunately, seems remotely far fetched. Look, I mean, I haven't heard the studios say this, but I don't think Fran Drescher, the freaking nanny, is going to lie about this. So we're going to watch the speech that she gave when, she basically came out and said, we're going to strike. And you can hear it in her voice. And what she's saying and how she's saying it really gets to the core of how artists and other people who have seen this coming and already started to feel it exactly how we feel. It has moved aggressively. This cancer has freaking metastasized. And while I said in the beginning I was completely speechless, I did have to speak on it. But I think I'm just going to let Fran's words do the speaking for us because I can feel it in her voice.
Thank you. Thank you, Duncan. And thank you, everybody, for coming to this press conference today. It's really important that this negotiation be covered because the eyes of the world, and particularly the eyes of labor, are upon us. What happens here is important because what's happening to us is happening across all fields of labor, by means of when employers make Wall Street and greed their priority, and they forget about the essential contributors that make the machine run. We have a problem, and we are experiencing that right at this moment. This is a very seminal hour for us. I went in earnest thinking that we would be able to avert a strike. The gravity of this move is not lost on me or our negotiating committee or our board members who have voted unanimously to proceed with a strike. It's a very serious thing that impacts thousands, if not millions, of people all across this country and around the world. Not only members of this union, but people who work in other industries that service the people that work in this industry. And so it came with great sadness that we came to this crossroads, but we had no choice. We are the victims here. We are being victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting. Shame on them. They stand on the wrong side of history at this very moment. We stand in solidarity, in unprecedented unity. Our union and our sister unions and the unions around the world are standing by us, as well as other labor unions. Because at some point, the jig is up. You cannot keep being dwindled and marginalized and disrespected and dishonored. The entire business model has been changed by streaming, digital, AI. This is a moment of history that is a moment of truth. If we don't stand tall right now, we are all going to be in trouble. We are all going to be in jeopardy of being replaced by machines and big business. Who cares more about Wall Street than you and your family? Most of Americans don't have more than $500 in an emergency. This is a very big deal, and it weighed heavy on us. But at some point, you have to say, no, we're not going to take this anymore. You people are crazy. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Privately, they all say we're the center of the wheel. Everybody else tinkers around our artistry. But actions speak louder than words. And there was nothing there. It was insulting. So we came together in strength and solidarity and unity with the largest strike authorization vote in our union's history. And we made the hard decision that we tell you as we stand before you today. This is major. It's really serious, and it's going to impact every single person that is in labor. We are fortunate enough to be in a country right now that happens to be labor friendly. And yet, we were facing opposition that was so labor unfriendly, so tone deaf to what we are saying. You cannot change the business model as much as it has changed and not expect the contract to change too. We're not going to keep doing incremental changes on a contract that no longer honors what is happening right now with this business model that was foisted upon us. What are we doing? Moving around furniture on the Titanic? It's crazy. So the jig is up, AMPTP. We stand tall. You have to wake up and smell the coffee. We are labor and we stand tall and we demand respect and to be honored for our contribution. You share the wealth because you cannot exist without us. Thank you.
You can hear it in her voice, right? You hear how exasperated she is. You hear how upset she is because what these people are doing, and it's not just with actors in Hollywood. This is happening everywhere. As she said, this is labor everywhere. We are standing at the precipice right now, my friends. I think we've all known that. I think artists were a little bit early on the curve here because we saw it directly affecting us. We saw what these predatory models are doing, and we see how they can be used by greedy people who have nothing but their own self-interest and accumulating ungodly amounts of money just for the sake of, all I can imagine is some sort of small circle of utterly privileged, ultra wealthy people having little pissing contests with themselves. You know, in the words of Elon Musk, which apparently was maybe a parody account, I don't really give a shit. They just want to have a dick measuring contest, but their dicks are their bank accounts. Ladies and gentlemen, my good friends out there, we have gone through the looking glass. This is no longer just about Luddites who don't want their artwork fed into a machine. This is spreading and metastasizing rapidly. And the fact that these big companies, in this case, it's Hollywood studio executives, which, look, nobody is shocked at their level of greed. It's basically a cliche at this point. But this is the mentality behind closed doors of so many companies. I can guarantee you they are waiting for the moment that they can just get rid of everybody and replace them with AI with no sort of system or safety net in place. We are living at the beginning, opening credits of the worst Black Mirror episode that has ever been put on. I don't really have much else to say about this, but this is going to develop. And yesterday we had a little good news. I thought the Senate hearing with copyright about artists and musicians' rights actually went pretty well. And then to hear this today, again, I'm speechless. I'm speaking, but I'm absolutely speechless. So we all need to stand in solidarity together before this great displacement that I have been speaking about comes down like a freaking mega tsunami. And that's where we're at. My friends, you either stand for something or you will fall for anything. To all my friends who are actors, who work in those industries, I 100% stand with you. I support you in any way that I can. And I hope you guys all feel the same way too. I'm sorry this is so bleak, but we all need to be aware of what the hell's going on. I wish you all very good luck in the wars to come, and I will speak to you very soon.